Jack was still thinking about the past when he was suddenly woken up by Kelly, because Kelly seemed to have made a new discovery. She took the keys Jack handed her. She knows that Calvin in life was very smart. If he was going to get rid of something that could get him killed, he would have put it in a safe and accessible place that we can see every day, but where it wouldn't draw more attention than anyone else's attention. They quickly guessed where that stash was because it was a mailbox key. Jack marveled at how clever Kelly was. Then the two of them walked into the post office. Kelly was in charge of going up and distracting the staff. Jack used the key Calvin left behind to try to open the mailboxes one by one. The old lady next to him asked Jack if he was using his own key. Jack lied and said he forgot which box he was in. The old lady quickly alerted the staff that a stranger was using a key that didn't belong to him. Jack was shocked by the old lady's action and asked her if she was the postal police. The staff also noticed Jack's abnormality. He asked Jack to show his card. Kelly continued to talk to attract attention. At that moment, Jack finally opened a box. He took all the information inside. He said he just forgot his mailbox number. When he got back to the car, Jack started to look at the files Calvin left behind. Sure enough, they found a flash drive in one of the envelopes. Apparently, there's a good chance that it contains the clues Calvin left behind. But just as they were about to check the contents of the flash drive, they found that the input port of the computer was not suitable for the flash drive. They have to go back to the hotel first. When Kelly opened the door of the hotel, she was shocked by the situation inside. She rushed to pull out her weapon from behind her waist. Jack also rushed over at the same time. The two rushed into the room and found that the room was turned upside down. It was obvious that they had been targeted. In order to prevent them from being trapped, the two of them checked the corners of the room one by one. At that moment, Kelly suddenly found that there was a movement in the bedroom. So the two quietly touched the door of the room. They opened the door and a man rushed out. Jack immediately grabbed him. He wondered why the man didn't use a spring-loaded knife, but a brass tiger ring instead. The man signaled Jack to look down. A spring-loaded knife appeared in the man's hand, pointing at Jack's vitals. This man is no other than their former comrade Tanner. After he received Jack's message, he rushed here without stopping. Tanner told them that he didn't mess up the house himself, because the house had already been raided before he arrived. They don't dwell on it too much. They just want to find out what's on Calvin's flash drive. But when Kelly opened the files on the flash drive, there was an alarm. Calvin had encrypted the files on the flash drive. They have to enter the right password within 2 minutes. Otherwise, the system will delete the files on the flash drive by default. While Jack and Tanner were trying to figure out what the password was, Kelly noticed a string of letters on the keychain. Then she typed in the letters and cracked the password. She marveled at her comrade's ingenuity. Soon Kelly was able to print out a list of names from the file Calvin had left behind. But what puzzled him was that all the names on the list had the initials AM. Jack thought that these names were all aliases of one person, because by keeping the initials, the person's signature would never change. Tanner thinks that whoever this person is, since he killed Calvin, he must have known their team very well. It's not unlikely that the next target will be one of them. That's why Tanner thinks they need more men to investigate this case. It just occurred to him that one of the team members lived not far from them in Queens, New York, so they rushed over there. They knocked on the door, but no one answered. There was no noise in the room. Obviously, there was no one inside. After that, Jack raised his elbow and broke the glass on the door. As soon as they entered the room, they smelled a pungent stench. Several people instantly drew their weapons and began to check the situation in the room. In the bathroom, they found a dog that had died of dehydration. They knew Swan wouldn't let the dog die of thirst. The only way he wouldn't come home was if he was dead. First Calvin, now Swan. The remaining comrades can't be reached on the phone. Based on the clues he has, Jack has come to a conclusion. He thinks someone is trying to kill the team. They're coming for us. Jack noticed a black car on the street as soon as they stepped out of the room. This is the same car they encountered yesterday in front of the post office. It's obvious they're being followed. Jack is going to introduce himself to the man in the black car. Jack walked straight towards him. The man in the car didn't realize Jack's next move. The next second, Jack kicked the hood of the black car. The car's airbag activated and injured the man inside the car. The man tried to pretend to be a passerby and came down to talk to Jack. But Jack didn't give him a chance. He went up and hit him several times. The man never thought Jack would be so domineering. Before he was ready to fight back, he fainted to death. Kelly then found an hit on the man's body, which showed that he was an NYPD agent named Gil also. Jack was baffled that he had just punched a police officer. When they got back to the car, they didn't say anything. They realized that Jack was in trouble. When Gil also woke up, they would be arrested by the whole NYPD. At that moment, Kelly suddenly thought that after Calvin was killed, the whole NYPD was investigating the incident. And this Galasso is obviously one of the investigators. Galasso must have followed them because he thought they had something to do with Calvin's murder. That's a big misunderstanding. Jack was scared. He didn't want to get locked up before he could figure out what was going on. So they decided to leave New York first, and then we'll think about it later. At the same time, Mike, the big boss behind the whole thing, received a call from his men who were following Jack and his men. He'd never seen anyone kick out an airbag before. After seeing how Jack beat up the police, the henchman was totally shocked. He described Jack as a beast and needed more support. Mike also agreed without hesitation and told him to keep following them and not to screw up. On the other side, Jack and the others arrived at an underground garage. They were going to leave their car here and get another one to leave New York. Just then Jack suddenly saw a familiar figure. This person is also a member of the group, named Lucy. As far as Jack knows, Lucy got a job after she retired from the army and is now the assistant to the NYPD commissioner. Jack knows the special nature of Lucy's job. If she rented a car under her own identity, it wouldn't arouse anyone's suspicion. Lucy was puzzled by Jack's purpose. Jack said they were being watched by the police because he had beaten up a policeman not long ago. Lucy laughed. She knew that was Jack's style of doing things. With Lucy's help, they quickly got a hire car and started to drive towards the house of another member of the group. What happens next? Will they be able to find their teammate's killer? I'm Zero Sense Film. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment and subscribe to my channel. See you in the next video.